Wait, before he even called her that, he was like...
She wanted another baby. Until it wasn't her idea. Then suddenly it was a personal attack.
Very small family for a plural family. You know, for 4 wives, I think you could easily have 8 to 10.
During the episode where the Browns visit the Dodgers, Cody casually mentions the idea of having another child. Robyn immediately bristles, visibly annoyed.
You know how, like, a couple of years ago when we went back to Vegas for a little...
The scene cuts straight to her confessional, where she expresses frustration, insisting that since the other wives are done having children, Cody must be talking about her.
I have days when I'm baby hungry and I really want another baby.
She launches into a tirade about her reproductive rights and how inappropriate it is for him to bring it up, clearly offended by the mere suggestion. The irony is staggering. This is the same woman who repeatedly inserted herself into the dynamics of the other marriages and continuously brought up Mary's fertility struggles, despite Mary having already come to terms with not having more children.
Honestly, my biggest regret. Do you want to have a baby?
Robyn prolonged those conversations, dragging them out far beyond what was necessary, often at Mary's emotional expense. But now, when the topic even vaguely concerns her, suddenly it's off limits. In another episode, Robyn has a serious conversation with Cody outside her house, telling him she had a vision of a future spirit baby, a brown-haired boy she's convinced is meant to be hers. It's an emotional moment, but one that directly contradicts her earlier anger over the topic of more children. The inconsistencies are hard to ignore. There also seems to be discomfort any time attention shifts away from her household. When Maddie and Caleb moved in with Janelle while expecting their second child, Robyn's reaction was far from enthusiastic. The idea of grandchildren being nearby and potentially commanding Cody's attention didn't appear to sit well. Not long after, the entire family relocated to Flagstaff. Later, when visiting Mykelti and Tony, Cody raises the idea of them moving closer or building a large enough home to accommodate the expanding family. Robyn immediately interjects, saying, "They're on their own path," with a strained smile.
My kids are very happy here in Flagstaff. I want to make it work.
She's also voiced concerns that the original wives focus too much on their adult children, emphasizing that the family should be centered in Flagstaff, which, not coincidentally, means centered around her own children. There's little indication she would support Cody traveling with Janelle to see Maddie in North Carolina, or going with Mary to visit Leon. Time spent with Truly or the family in Utah has also seemed minimal. The consistent theme? Keeping the spotlight on her household and limiting Cody's involvement elsewhere. Cody Brown isn't heartbroken. He's just mad Christine took the house, the contract, and the spotlight.
With this broken heart and my happy facade, going into this party, excited about Tony and Mykelti and the babies, while my heart is breaking.
In the baby sprinkle episode for Mykelti's twins, Cody claims his heart is breaking seeing Christine. This from the man who once said how hard he tried to love her. Like being married to her was some exhausting chore he had to endure. Now we're meant to believe he's heartbroken?
I told her I loved her and I chose to love her.
His narrative shifts constantly. One minute it's, "I never loved you." Then it's, "She left out of the blue," followed by, "I'm disgusted by you." And suddenly, he's the wounded party lamenting, "It was like a knife in the kidneys after all I sacrificed."
Man, just the knife in the kidneys over all these years.
The contradictions aren't even subtle. They sometimes happen within the same episode. The truth is, what actually upset him
It feels like I'm moving my ex-wife out of her house.
was Christine asserting her independence, boxing up his belongings, retaining full ownership of the house, securing her own legal and PR teams, and landing a second TLC contract for her cooking show. That wasn't heartbreak. It was financial and reputational loss.
I'm not playing the victim card.
And soon after, Mary and Janelle made similar moves. Cody's reactions aren't grounded in emotional loss, but in control.
They're not welcome in his house. They're not welcome in his house without this conversation.
His frustration stems from being outmaneuvered. Robyn, meanwhile, continues spinning revisionist narratives that defy reality. Her ongoing attempts to reframe events go beyond biased. They border on fantasy.
Wife.
Well, wait, before he even called her that, he was like...
It's the old Mary. This is the Mary that I
wish I was married to.
To men like Cody, women are possessions, not partners. The irony of Robyn's doll collection speaks volumes. To a narcissist, a doll isn't loved. It's owned. When it walks off the shelf, it's not grief. It's rage over losing control. Cody's version of heartbreak isn't romantic. It's strategic disappointment. Christine didn't betray him. She beat him at his own game. Without Christine, Janelle, and Mary, is there anything left to save this show? The original 3 wives are thriving. Christine has a book on the way.
You found the bones here?
Yeah.
Very cool, bud.
So one thing about this property is there's actually quite a lot of wildlife on it.
Janelle is building her own business, possibly even a working farm, and Mary appears to be enjoying a more independent life. At this point, the income from the show seems less critical for them. This shift raises questions about the future of sister wives. Without the original cast members, there's little left to keep viewers invested. The dynamic between Cody and Robyn doesn't carry the same interest, and the appeal of the show has always hinged on the broader family dynamic.
But it just wasn't sustainable.
Robyn and I we could work together.
Production for season 20 has reportedly been underway, and it's likely being positioned as a milestone season, the final chapter. If the pacing remains steady, with each episode covering roughly a month of real time, the show could catch up to within a few months of current events by the end of 2025. Any gaps between filming and airing could easily be bridged with on-screen notes or narration. Some members of the original cast may still rely on the show's income.
Anyway, so we put an offer in on 165 acres, and it was just accepted a few days ago.
Janelle's farm project appears to be heavily supported by show funding, as typical Plexus earnings likely wouldn't sustain that scale of investment.
We're closing this place down.
Mary has seemingly closed her B&B to guests, and other ventures such as LuLaRoe appear to be slowing down.
And third house is a no.
Christine may have more financial stability due to her new relationship, combined incomes, and property investments, but the visibility and money from the show still seem to appeal to her. Given this, a spin-off focused on Christine, Janelle, and Mary could offer a fresh and compelling direction, highlighting life after polygamy and moving beyond the dynamics that have defined the series for years. Robyn didn't just marry Cody, she quietly dismantled everything the family stood for. Season 18 marked the point when Robyn's carefully crafted image started to crumble. Her manipulation became more obvious, she contradicted herself, got defensive, and couldn't keep her story straight. The account the kids gave of the text thread didn't match what she said in her interview.
That she and Cody decided that they weren't safe anymore doing the sibling exchange.
One moment, it was about safety concerns, then suddenly she admitted she didn't want the kids to gather because a fight might break out. Which is it?
When you see this mountain of gifts, that we're a family.
She also tried to downplay the mountain of Christmas presents, blaming it all on Cody. Realistically, there's no chance Cody was buying gifts for her kids without her approval. And while claiming she wanted the family together, she didn't even bother to send anything for Savannah.
It's a cheap version.
Instead, there was an angry outburst about how everything had become a cheap version of what it once was.
The end of all of it, Robyn just said, I'm done with this, and obviously it's an effort in futility.
Robyn told Mary she didn't understand how their relationship fell apart, all while lying directly to her about why she wasn't invited when Isabel, Truly, and McKelty visited. She claimed it wasn't her decision and that they don't communicate, despite clearly having been ignoring Mary for months. Her sense of entitlement, the lies, and the anger were all front and center. Yet by season 19, she returned as the soft-spoken victim, the shy, misunderstood figure who only ever wanted peace and family harmony. The transformation was dramatic and unconvincing.
My kids and Janelle's kids and Christine's kids and Mary's daughter.
She has repeatedly denied favoritism, even while admitting that Cody came to her house every single morning to help get her 2 youngest kids ready for school. Meanwhile, Janelle and Christine described Cody showing up late, leaving early, and never being fully present. There was a stark contrast in how time and attention were divided.
I don't care how many presents you give.
During the infamous knife-in-the-kidneys confrontation, Robyn accused Christine of saying something she clearly didn't, and Christine calmly replied, I didn't say that. It was a moment where something visibly shifted. Robyn wasn't prepared for that level of poise. She asserted her position during the Christmas rules discussion with Cody, Mary, Janelle, and Christine. It was clear she could say whatever she wanted without pushback. When Christine left and Janelle showed house plans, Robyn was visibly rattled by being excluded from the conversation. Without Christine there, Robyn no longer had another wife to look down on. Only Cody and her children remained in her immediate orbit.
And played the victim, and we said, no, this is about...
Her pattern of behavior stood out clearly, acting surprised, confused, or sad to avoid accountability, while deflecting any criticism back onto Cody. It appears to be a calculated strategy, one they both embraced. The private courthouse wedding, conducted after Cody's divorce from Mary, was another example. While the other wives wanted to be included, Robyn and Cody went ahead without informing anyone. The claim that it was just a low-key event rings hollow. It seemed more like a moment they wanted for themselves, intimate, monogamous, and out of view. Then there's the text thread. Robyn claims she and her children were being treated poorly, yet Cody, normally quick to leap to her defense, suddenly chose to ignore it? That doesn't track. If things had really gone down the way she described, his reaction would have been explosive. The fact that he let it slide speaks volumes. He likely knew she wasn't the victim in that instance, and that silence said it all. This isn't a tan, it's a cry for help. Why is Mary always so brown? It's like she's in a committed relationship with tanning. Sometimes the color is so intense it barely looks natural, more baked than bronzed. Back in the Vegas days, it looked like she and Cody were hitting the tanning beds hard. The telltale raccoon eyes from the tanning goggles gave it away, perfectly shaped and suspiciously consistent.
And it was very embarrassing to have that makeup on my face.
That would also explain their hair back then, dry, brittle, and clearly overprocessed. Frequent tanning without using a proper heat protectant will do that. Even short-term heat exposure can damage hair, and their hair looked like it had been through a desert storm. Of course, it might not have just been tanning beds. It could have been layers of self-tanner topped off with bronzer for that extra glow.
Cody and I have talked about it, and he's really kind of left.
Some people really chase that look, willingly roasting themselves in the sun to get it. Or maybe it was just a budget version of a tropical getaway. When a vacation isn't in the cards, a bottle of self-tanner becomes the next best thing. Cody doesn't want a relationship, he wants obedience.
They get to pick and choose who they hang out with, but I don't. It's weird to me.
When Cody says they get to pick and choose who they hang out with and I don't, it's weird to me, he unintentionally reveals exactly how he thinks. What really bothers him isn't exclusion, it's the loss of control.
They prefer to do things with other people.
He's used to holding his time and attention like bargaining chips, something to reward or withhold. Now that the roles have reversed, he finds it weird. It's not actually weird. It's just that others finally have the freedom to make choices, and they're choosing not to revolve around him. Cody seems to believe that relationships, especially with his children, should happen on his terms. He wants the perks of being a father without the work or accountability that comes with it.
Everybody has to make a choice here about whether I'm supposed to be involved in their life.
The irony is, he did make a choice. He demanded loyalty and obedience, and when he didn't get it, he distanced himself. Now that his children and former partners have responded with distance of their own, he acts confused. But that confusion comes from entitlement, not injustice. As for his family dynamics, it's clear where the fractures deepened.
Robyn's more important, certainly, than I am.
Robyn didn't just become the closest wife, she became the gatekeeper. Over time, connections with anyone outside her immediate circle were diminished or strained. It was a slow shift, but the outcome is undeniable. Most of the older children have chosen to step back entirely. In the emotional core of the family, it never centered on control or hierarchy. It was built by those who showed up, who cooked, homeschooled, and held celebrations together in spite of chaos. That labor didn't come from someone expecting reverence. It came from someone giving without expecting return.
The rotation we had with my schedule before COVID was basically...
Now Cody finds himself unable to call the shots, stuck watching others make the same independent decisions he used to deny them. He's not being shut out. He's simply facing the consequences of his own choices. something he still seems unwilling to recognize. This is what it looks like when a man can't handle being held accountable.
The great pecs and the six-pack abs was all about the fact that Janelle has always seen.
In the season 18 tell-all, Cody actually bragged about his pecs and six-pack abs as if that somehow explained or excused anything. Imagine if Janelle had said something like, "He just uses me for my great breasts and sexual appetite." The double standard would have been outrageous. Yet here he is, reducing their relationship to her supposedly using him as a resource. It's absurd.
I do feel like we had all aspects of a marriage.
Janelle consistently spoke about loving her life with him. Not just intimacy, but the companionship, the conversations, the shared goals. It wasn't one-dimensional. And of all the wives, she demanded the least. She gave him the sons he clearly favored, never fought for his attention, and, according to Christine, always defended him. But now he throws her under the bus? That's not just low, it's delusional. This is what happens when Cody's narrative gets challenged. He rewrites history rather than face the truth. He can't handle being held accountable. And yes, it seems like he genuinely misses Janelle, but has no clue why things fell apart.
I do not know how to reconcile with you.
It's simple. Telling someone to choose between you and their children rarely ends well.
This sounds like it's about money for Janelle. It's like, have I always just been a resource for you?
The projection is glaring. He used his wives for children, status, and support, so now he assumes they must have used him. That's how his mind works. People are either useful or disposable. Concepts like love, empathy, or mutual respect, he treats them like foreign ideas. There was a noticeable shift in Janelle's demeanor during their conversations. It wasn't just frustration. It looked like she had lost respect for him. And frankly, it was long overdue. Now, it's true Christine and Mary helped with childcare so Janelle could work. That's a valid point. But helping within a family structure isn't the same as emotional or financial exploitation. Janelle didn't need to beg for his time. He went to her home willingly, especially because of the boys. That's where he felt admired, not challenged.
I courted Mary and I courted Robyn, but Christine and Janelle both asked if they could be in the family.
Then there's the claim that Christine and Janelle begged to be part of the family. Janelle was recently divorced and exploring plural marriage. Cody and Janelle, by their own accounts, spent significant time together. He was having issues with Mary, and Janelle was receptive to a new dynamic. He told her, "You should be part of our family." That's not begging, that's invitation. In their religious community, it's not acceptable for a man to go out courting women. Women are expected to express spiritual promptings to join a family. Christine and Janelle followed that tradition. Robyn, on the other hand, pursued him very directly, and he embraced it. Yet she's the only one whose motives he doesn't question.
The selective memory is staggering. He doesn't just alter the past, he weaponizes it, always casting himself as the victim and everyone else as the problem. That's it for today on Reality Nexus X. Thanks for hanging out. I'm Elena. See you in the next one.